Hi, my name's Bob Brown and welcome to No Particular Topic. This one's going to be a little bit different. Well, it's really going to be a lot bit different. A lot bit? Anyway, it's different. And it starts, I suppose, when I was a little kid. And one of the things I used to do and was really good at is mimicking people, creating characters, improvising, stuff like that. And I took drama in school. I just love stuff like that. My idols when I was a kid were, well, it was two people actually. One was Mel Blanc and the other was Daws Butler. So who are those people? They are the main voices behind Warner Brothers cartoons and Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And believe me, you'll know who those characters are. They were the main voices during the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And they were spectacular. They did everything. You would know Mel Blanc instantly. He does Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam. He does Porky the Pig. He does like a zillion characters. As for Daws Butler, he did Huckleberry Hound, Yogi Bear, and Snagglepuss, and all of those. I know I'm dating myself. But anyway, I used to just love doing those characters and imitating people, friends, and whatever, and just making up stuff. Now, let's fast forward a little bit to 1987, maybe 1988. I really don't remember the exact year, but someone told me, and I was on the patrol, by the way, the Florida Highway Patrol during this period in Miami. One of my friends told me, and I don't remember who it was or how I heard about it, but they said, oh, there's some woman named Connie Zimmett who's offering voiceover classes. And I'm like, well, what is that? And I learned what you do for in a studio to create, where you create voices and record them for whatever, for commercials. And in my case, I wanted to do cartoons. Well, I thought to myself, wow, this might be a great opportunity. Luckily, I came up with a harebrained scheme, and it ended up not being so harebrained after all. But what I did was I said, I'm going to record all of my voices onto a cassette, and that's going to be my demo tape for her. So that's what I did. I took a boombox, and it had a cassette player in it. It was a piece of junk. I didn't know anything about recording. So what I did was I wrote down all of my characters, and every character had a name which kind of reminded me of the voice I would use. There's one that's the smoker, one was Big Tire, one was Cuban truck driver or something, and just stuff like that. And I just look at the list and I just improvise right on the spot. I turned on the recorder and started at number 1 and recorded about 20 characters onto this tape. Well, what I did was I took this tape over to her house, and I knew where she lived because back in those days you had a phone book. So I looked her up. I showed up to her door, and you imagine some big guy in a police uniform knocking on your door. It's usually never good news. And she just looks like, yes, can I help you? I go, don't worry, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Because usually when I show up, it's because something is wrong. So I showed up and I said, listen, there's no bad news here. I heard you had a voiceover class coming up and I wanted to see if I could get into it. And she goes, well, that class is already booked up. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, I have a demo tape that I did, and can I just leave it with you? And if you get a chance, can you listen to it? And she goes, well, I'm really busy. She didn't want to listen to it. But I just said, well, if you could, just here, I'm just going to leave it with you. She goes, okay. And I go, well, thank you. And I left. So you're going to now hear what was on that tape. And then later on, you'll find out I produced a more professional tape, but you'll hear that as well. So for right now, I hope you enjoy this voice tape that I made that nobody has ever heard, that I made back in 1987 or 88. To make it more enjoyable, what I did was I made graphics to go with each voice so you don't go into a coma. Well, here we go.
You think you got me red-handed? It's impossible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, some people say I'm a pretty heavy smoker. I don't really notice myself. I've been smoking, quite a while now, and, I don't really think it's affected me one way or the other. I've been a rancher all my life. See that house over there? I own that one, too. I just celebrated my 147th birthday 2 years ago.
Man, that'd be my name. What I tell you?
You told me your name was Jim Johnson.
No, man, that my brother, man. My name be Rufus Jones, man. Rufus Jones, or Rufus F. Jones. Rufus Jones. And that be the truth, man. What lie to you, man? I've been to jail. I want to go to jail, man. Here, it be tattooed right here on my arm. See? You put me tanky, my friend. Please don't put me tanky, okay?
Sir, you've got a bald tire in the right rear of your truck. You can't have a bald tire in the back right rear of your truck.
Please, my friend, I've been in country a long time, and I've been good citizen. You put me tanky, fuck you, okay? My friend, fuck you. You put me tanky, fuck you, okay?
It's not a ticket. Oh, sorry.
Well, son, I'm certainly proud of you. You've made it so I can just walk down the street and say, that's my son. I'm so proud of you. Oh, father, I'm so ashamed. All the other pretty cats, they seem to stare at me because of shame.
Hey, Zib, how you doing there? Everything going all right for you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How you doing there? Sick. I've been sick. I got a goiter here in my throat. It's been killing me. The pain is excruciating. There's things falling out and growth. The size of it's huge. You wouldn't believe it unless you see what I'm talking about here. Hey, give me the goons, Amy. Oh, you can get rough with me, are you? Oh, this is all Winsky over here. Yes, yes.
little buddy? Oh, I'm doing just wonderful. And you?
Well, I've been running this town for over 50 years, and that's why my name, Judge Pooch, is the name to remember.
Well, I thought I had a big truck, but them there tires are huge. Man, I'm talking really, really huge. Where'd you get them tires from anyway?
It doesn't escape me. The quality of that recording is pretty bad. Well, of course it's pretty bad. I used a crappy tape recorder, but I also had no idea I was going to be using it for something like this, almost 40 years later? But hey, at least I still have the tapes, right? So about a week goes by after I saw Connie, and my phone rang, and guess who's on the other end? It was Connie. And she goes, hi, is Bob Brown there? And I go, yeah, hi, that's me. And she goes, yeah, this is Connie. And I'm going, okay, great. Hi, how you doing? And she said, were all those voices yours? I'm like, luckily she can't see my face. I'm like, well, I'm thinking, because I'm kind of a smart ass. So I'm thinking in my head, well, who the hell's else voice would they be? But I didn't say that. I said, yeah, those were all me. And she goes, wow. She goes, I'm really surprised, because most of the time when someone hands me a demo tape, it's some awful Donald Duck impression over and over and over again. She goes, you didn't do any Donald Ducks. And I said, well, I don't know how to do Donald Duck. I never tried. And she just said, oh, okay. And she goes, well, have you ever thought of doing stand-up? And I said, well, not really. But she did plant that in my head, and I thought about it. And on a side note, I did eventually do some stand-up in Miami. That's a whole different story. I'm not going to go into that. I do have that one particular occasion of one of them recorded, but you're not going to hear that. You're welcome. So she said to me, well, I know I said the class is full, but I'm going to make an exception for you. I'm going to make a space for you. And I was like, wow, really? And she goes, yes. And she goes, looking forward to seeing you there. And I'm like, wow, this was like unbelievable. So I ended up being in her class. And by the way, I want to make a correction of something I said earlier, because it's kind of a blur on what year what was when it's that many years ago. And the more I think about it, the year I made those recordings, I think they were in 1989, not 87, 88. So anyway, I did go to her class, and man, it was amazing. I was the only goofball in the whole class. Everybody else, they were all professional recording artists. I mean, when I say professional, they're actively making commercials. One of them worked at a radio station, and they were all pros. And then there was me. But, I did really well. I really enjoyed the class, and she let me be in the class a second time. So I was lucky enough to be able to be in 2 of her classes. And that was a great experience. And, by the way, at the end of those classes, she produced a professional recording. And, well, here it is. That's one of them. It's a cassette tape. Whoops. And I also still have my master tape. And that's the master right there. And then the cassette was made from that. It's been sitting in a drawer since, 1991, I guess? But you're going to hear that tape. And by the way, the quality on that is light years better than the one you just heard. And just for enjoyment purposes, on the previous one, you probably already noticed, I added in some sound effects in the background. I just had to do it. So anyway, here are those professionally produced tapes.
Did the boss tell me to deliver that in person, or did he say to have PUS, or was the name UPS deliver it? Gosh, I hope I made the right decision. This could be my 5th job this month.
Delilah Shrumpkin loves to give parties. They're international events, and everyone mixes well.
Why not? Farm Store's eggnog is the perfect mix-up.
For your next party, use your noggin. Get Farm Store's eggnog. Your guests will be wild about it.
People ask me, Reverend Rolex, what is a sin? Yeah. Gasoline for $1.45 a gallon is a sin. Yeah. Salvation. Putting white walls on your Mercedes is a sin. Mercy sakes.
On to scenic Key West.
Run up!
Translation, please.
Hi. Say no Everglades. No Key West. Tourists are over. See no far right up on TV 33. We all happy crotch potatoes. Obrigado.
When it comes to keeping fresh food fresh, just any old container won't do. You need Rubbermaid Serve and Savor containers with lids that stay put, shapes that stay in shape, and seals that never forget to keep food fresh. Don't you wish everything was made like Rubbermaid?
Hi, my name is Roy Ezra, and this here's my friend Franklin. Franklin thinks he's a car. We're going to tell you all about this year's American 500 at Rockingham, North Carolina, and how Standback is going to get you $1 off the price of a ticket.
And finally, these are the straight reads.
If you flip out every time someone switches channels on you, we've got the answer. The Magnavox Smart Window TV. So smart, it will end home TV wars forever. I swear, this is the last California cooler I'm ever going to drink. You know why? Because I hate California. Hang 10, save the whales, huh? You know, brutal winters on the beach, Christmas ornaments melting in the sun. You know, I'll tell you something. I don't want to live anywhere where my lawyer's going to roller skate to work. I just found a great clothing store for guys, but you may be surprised at the name. J. Byron's. No lie. I got these OP shorts and shirts for 1/3 off at Byron's. Their entire stock of Ocean Pacific for young men and big boys is 1/3 off through Monday. Byron's. J. Byron's, your neighborhood department store.
Honey, where's Johnny?
He's still on the octopus. Where's Amy?
She's riding the carousel for the 6th time.
Our kids are riding every ride like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, they're having a ball.
I mean, this could cost us a lot of bread before the night's over.
The bread is saving us money.
Bread is saving us money?
Wholesome Bread and Bahama Bread got them their tickets to ride with Fairbucks.
That explains all the sandwiches last week. Introducing a natural phenomenon. They're called new Del Monte Fruit Naturals. You get 4 delicious canned fruits in their own juice. And there's no sugar added. No artificial flavors either. Hey, if you think it sounds phenomenal, wait till you taste it. Del Monte, we grow natural taste.
And there you have it. My voiceovers raised from the dead. Okay, well, not dead, but you know what I mean. But anyway, speaking of which is kind of a bad segue, but unfortunately, Connie passed away in 2009. That's Connie. She was such a nice, generous, kind, smart, wonderful person and an incredible voiceover artist. And man, I do miss her. And I have some great memories about her. But I didn't know she passed away till really more recently, because doing my research for this particular video, well, when I looked her up, I saw she passed away. I wouldn't know because I wasn't in Miami when that happened. I was in Naples, which is where I am right now, Naples, Florida. Well, I think that's pretty much it. As for my voiceover career, well, that's kind of interesting how that really kind of went nowhere. And it wasn't because I wasn't talented. It was really because of the lack of opportunity. You see, in Miami, back then, that was a very small knit group of people who did the voiceovers. And some of them were in my class. And I was friends with them. But when it came to me going out and looking for jobs, they were also there and they were always favored. And I kind of got locked out of the industry. But I understood that. It's such a small industry that I was really competition taking jobs away from them when I had a job anyway. But it just didn't happen. At least I made the tapes and everything else like that. But my only other option was, and by the way, the thing is, the kind of characters that I did weren't really what they were looking for voiceovers in Miami. They were mostly straight reads and stuff like that. The real character voices and stuff, those were all done in California. And I would have to move to California and look for a job. Yeah, that means I was going to be a waiter. I suppose the good news is I did manage to make a couple of commercials, and one went to, I don't know where. I know it went overseas, probably to some island with no electricity. And the other one, well, I was in my car one day and just driving around listening to the radio, and I'm like, that's me. It was me on a commercial on the radio. I'm like, wow, it's unbelievable. Hey, did anyone else hear that? No. But I was in a commercial on the radio, and it was the real deal. Well, I did get paid for that, and it was kind of nice because back then you got residuals, which means every time the commercial played, you got paid again for that commercial. I can't remember how much it was, but I mean, hey, it was better than nothing. But the thing is, commercials don't last. So they come and go, and they come and go fast. So that was pretty much it for that. So overall, well, how did my voiceover career go? It didn't.
I've been sick!
If interested, I do have another YouTube channel. It's called 8 and 35 millimeter Restoration. On that channel, I posted a whole bunch of my old home movies. Some were silent, some were sound. The ones that were silent, I added soundtracks and sound effects and all kinds of fun stuff on them because initially they were really boring. Anyway, also on that channel, I have a lot of tutorials. Those tutorials show you how to digitize and process 8 millimeter movies, still photography slides, photographs, and negatives. If you're interested, there's a link in the description below.